to Lichess Plays. We're back in action here on April 24th, 2022. Let's see if my opponent is here. It does not look like it, so we're going to have to go on to another game. Cancel. Oh, yeah, I got to abort this game. Looks like Subode is not there. Who's up next? We already have 20 challenges in the queue. This is being a little bit slow, isn't it? There we go. Now I think we're good. Royal MP, are you there? Greetings to everyone on Twitch as well as YouTube. It's 2 hours of 3+0 Blitz. You guys know the drill by now. Who's going to take me down today, or attempt to take me down at least? Yes, greetings to all our viewers on both platforms. Possibly those watching in the future on the archive version as well. Just as a reminder, anyone can challenge. There's no priority given. As long as you have a Lichess account, you can send me a challenge. My username is Fins, F-I-N-S. But the only stipulations are that it has to be a 3+0 standard chess game, so no variants or anything like that. And that's pretty much it. You don't have to be a sub. You don't have to be a patron on Lichess. How do you say Lichess? Exactly like I just said it. Yeah, Lichess. Yeah, not Lichess. Not Likens, if it autocorrects on your phone. Greetings to Sin. How are you? Oh, Hesse, you sent a challenge 3 hours ago. Wow, you're on the ball. I love it. Hello, Christian on YouTube. I see you. Let's go D5 here. I think this is the best move. Yeah. We were gone last week, or at least I was, due to the Easter holiday. So we took a week off. Sabina Foiser, WGM Sabina Foiser, has also been doing Lichess Play streams. So I think she's had a Lichess Play stream or two in the past week. Hello, Axiom Fox. What's up? Greetings to you. How was Easter? Did I eat a lot of eggs? You know, Easter was good. I spent it with some family over in St. Paul, which is one city over from where I live in Minneapolis. It was good. Yeah, got to see my relatives. Pretty chill, I gotta say. I'm enjoying all of the chess action going on right now, I gotta say. This is always a bit of a tough call. I'm gonna go C4. I'm gonna lock this up and then probably go B5, B4. Those of you who play the black side of the Sicilian can definitely relate to this type of position we got out of the opening. So many people play this Boulder attack for white. It's super, super popular. I know I see it in the games of my students like all the time. People are playing it against them if they play the Sicilian. Hello, Tomanome. Thank you for tuning in. Hello to Creton on YouTube. And greetings to Eric and Thessalonica. All right, this is a case where maybe I could consider taking here. Taking towards the center. It's interesting. So trying to get the rook involved. I do slightly weaken the e6 square, so I'm a little bit hesitant to do it for that reason. Let's try it, though, in the spirit of what I usually like to do in Lichess plays, which is if something looks interesting, I just go for it. I try not to think about it too much. Yeah, Queen E2 is a solid response. I'm honestly probably a little bit worse here. I have to exercise some caution in this position because I could be in a bit of trouble. Maybe here? Yeah, I'm going to go Rook F7. Reinforce. This queen could come in here. Queen E3, Don't quite see the purpose of that. Let's play H6. I'd like to get some clarity as to what this bishop's going to do. So let's play that. I'm also behind on the clock, so Royal MP's playing a good game. Pressuring me right out of the gate here. What's up, Aryan? Did you send your challenge in early today as usual, Aryan? Okay, now Queen E6. Okay. Let's go. Ooh, I got to be careful a little bit. Let's go here. Yeah, let's do that. Ooh, although it's probably okay. It's probably okay. This is a little bit close, though. Yeah, take. I got to take here, I think, is the important thing. And then play rook takes f6. So I don't lose the knight. Yes, you can play with me. You just have to send me a challenge, 3+0 challenge. Ooh, easy way to blunder here. There, rook takes c6. Let's take once, I think. Or shall I go here? Let's go here. Send me a challenge. It can be casual or rated. Doesn't matter. Let's take this. Take here. Now, my opponent should take with their knight. If they take with the rook, then trouble awaited. Knight c7, maybe? Maybe. All right, let's go here. I might be losing, folks. My pawn structure is looking wonky. Royal MP is way better than their rating. Let's go here. Sack this pawn. I really got to swindle here. I did play in the titled arena the other day, so maybe I can turn on the jets here in an effort to do something to save this game, which is otherwise looking quite difficult to save, I got to say. Oh, man. Did not see that move. C3? Give me a chance. Oh, my pawn. It's going through. I somehow got a chance in mutual time pressure. I'm going to save the game, I think. Check. That was close. Royal MP was outplaying me. Smurf? I don't know. I'm kind of curious myself. I'm very curious. Very good performance. However, I wouldn't really have guessed it by the opening because, again, like the boulder attack, it's not that white played the opening poorly, but you don't see that a whole lot like at the higher levels. So this is like kind of consistent with what I've seen a lot of players around this rating do. Yeah, I think I was under big pressure here. Maybe F takes G6 was a little too squirrely. F takes G6, probably no good. Yeah, and I was hurting in this position. Didn't quite understand Queen E3. But then white played Queen E6. Yeah. I'm just running into good moves. Just running into the best moves. What can I say? All right. Well, let's go on to the next game. Ooh, I'm already up to 50 challenges. I love it. Cool. Anlin, you're next. Good luck. Let's play knight f3 in this game. How's it going, Edwards? Or Edward, I should say. Edward Reynolds. It's going pretty well, yeah. Had a leisurely Sunday so far. And I missed you guys. I did. It's been 2 weeks since we last had Lichess plays. Okay, capture looks all right. Ooh, actually, I'm sorry. I'm slightly blocking the view of the clock, so I do apologize for that. Hopefully that's better. All right, let's play G3. Maybe we'll get like a reverse Grunfeld out of this. All right. And let's play C3. Maybe reversed Benoni. Yes, you can. Ejdam Khaled, you can play with me. Absolutely. Got to send a challenge. I do select randomly from a pool of players, so it's no guarantee that you'll get a game. But you can get put in the pool, and you have just as good a chance as anyone else to get a game. Okay, B6 I think is a little bit sketchy. Let's castle here. And I, at some point, may take here to try to unleash the pressure against the pawn on D5. That's the current plan. Because B6, while well-intentioned to try to support this, I think my opponent's going to run into issues. Let me think how I want to try to exploit this, though. Like Queen A4, Knight E5. Knight E5 maybe take here. All right, but then E3. I'm going to go knight e5. This looks interesting to me. Inviting black to take here, but then I'm thinking e3 kind of puts black in a bit of a predicament. Yeah, you can do exclamation point challenge as well. There's a link that Nightbot just put up there. Shout out to the Lichess mods, by the way. No Joke Chess, also Numeroid. Those two mods are usually in the chat. Hello to them if they're there. All right, knight d7. Now, should I take this one or should I play f4? Both look pretty good. f4 defends e5, also threatens f5. I kind of like taking here, though, because if knight takes, then I can play knight c7, you know, and win the exchange on a8. So let's do that one. Trying to unleash the bishop against the rook. Hello, Ahmad. Greetings to you. Hey, Richard, I see you in the chat too. This is watching this game keenly. Excellent. And Bob Bobson, hello. Wow, we got a lot of YouTube viewers here in the chat. Good stuff. All right, so black sidesteps that knight c7 threat. I think this is time for f4. I think this is appropriate now, defending the knight. Oh, don't let your wife read that, Edward. Edward said, missed you last Sunday, had to settle for time with my wife. Kidding. Yes, significant others may get upset if you say stuff like that to them or in front of them, but it'll be our little secret. Okay, c4, so trying to make some space for maybe a piece to come to c5. I think I'm still going to try to get through here, although there's rook c5 at the end. That's slightly annoying. Let's bring the king over. Just a bit of a sidestep here with the king. And maybe now this move. Black will be able to castle, but I get the queen on a dominant square. This looks pretty nice. I think now maybe just bishop f4. Yeah. Develop. Maybe stick a rook on d1. I'll leave black in suspense as to when or if I'm going to play the move e6. All right. Let's do this as planned. Why am I only 2,600? That's a decent rating, right? Should I be higher for Blitz? I think Bullet is my best rating on Lichess. I am over 2,700 Bullet. Even though I dropped a few points in the titled arena yesterday. Always tough. The titled arenas. Again, I'm tempted to play e6. Very tempted. I could also just take here, which is probably the easiest thing to do. Yeah, let's do that. Pick up a pawn, attack the queen. Okay, now, I mean, if ever there were a time for e6, it has to be now. Take, and if black takes, then bishop d5. Yeah, I think maybe black saw that. All right, Anlam, thank you for the game. I do appreciate it. So this opening can get you into some trouble. We actually transposed into a Tarrasch defense out of this ready. And the move b6, just, yeah, you can see the engine really hates that move. You can't quite afford the lag in development and also the weakness it creates on this diagonal. So, yep, that's just a little bit too slow under the circumstances. You want to play knight f6 here. That's the main move. Thank you for the game. All right, who do we have next? Some time trouble today? Well, especially in that first game. I was sweating in that first game. I didn't know I would have such a challenger at 1,100 rating in the very first game. I escaped by the skin of my teeth. Hello, John. Do you like the King's Indian for black? You know, I would love to be able to play the King's Indian from the black side. However, the vast majority of my experience in the King's Indian is from the white side. The thing about the King's Indian, it strikes me as a pretty demanding opening to know because you have to know a lot of move orders. Tempted to take here, but I think I run into queen a4 if I do that. So let's play e6. Yeah, there's many mainline positions in the King's Indian where there's like 3, 4, 5 acceptable approaches for both sides. It's pretty wild. So due to that, I think you have to be very adept with your move orders. You know what? Speaking of move orders, let's take here and attack the white queen. I'm kind of curious how this is going to go. But yeah, I would love to play the King's Indian. If you guys are interested in the King's Indian, I'd highly recommend taking a look at Grandmaster Daniel Naroditsky's games. He plays it frequently on stream. He's a connoisseur of it. It's his main defense against d4. He's one of the top players I would look at to try to build up some experience in the kid. Let's go here. Should I do this or even castle is interesting? I feel like I might win a pawn here. Let's play rook d8. Okay, so this is ambitious. I'm playing ambitiously here. But my thinking is I've got white in the pin down the d file. And if bishop e3, I can take. And I think it's too dangerous for white to recapture because I play bishop c5. Yeah, it looks like my opponent agrees. So my opponent's just going to go down a pawn. Looking good. Yeah, I think rook d8 was the correct call over castling because knight e5 like might be kind of annoying otherwise. All right, now here. Let's go here. White has some compensation, to be fair. White definitely has a bit of a development lead. Even with the king in the center, the rook's disconnected. This is not going to be super easy for me. Maybe a4 is coming. I'm thinking perhaps I play d3 against that and try to open up an attack against f2. I don't know, though. I might not be that much better because I need to safeguard my king at some point as well. So this is up in the air. I think I don't like rook f1. I think if white had played bishop e3, perhaps, white stood a good chance of getting the pawn back sometime in the near future. All right, let's go here. Yep, that's right, Creton. As Leopare said in the YouTube chat, you can challenge me to rated or casual. It doesn't matter. Either one's fine. Okay, let's put the bishop on b8. So I'm still clinging to this extra pawn, but white has the c-file, also 2 versus 1 over here. I got to be careful. Rook comes back to e1. All right, all right. Let's castle now. If rook e3, I have knight g4, so that move is not going to help white. So maybe white's trying to prep that. I can go knight d5. This knight is not so well placed. I'd like to improve its prospects, so let's do that. Disconnects my rook from this pawn, so if knight e5, I'm probably going to end up taking. But maybe then I can shift to attacking this pawn somehow. I still feel like my opponent has pretty good compensation here. One weakness of mine in chess is I sometimes get greedy, specifically in grabbing pawns in positions. And I sometimes pay the price as a result. It happens. I don't usually like accepting gambits in the opening. Like, I'm pretty good about avoiding the complications of gambit play. But, like, later in the game, especially if I think my opponent has done something wrong, I will often go to great lengths to try to prove that I can win a pawn, even if it means giving an initiative. Okay, I don't think rook c5 was that great, because now I can take here. Now my opponent's in big trouble. I picked up another pawn. Maybe just rook b8 here. Looks fine. I got to watch the back rank a little bit, admittedly. I'm not exactly threatening the knight is the problem, but if I throw in a pawn move, I would be. Okay, now there. Yeah, let's create the bathtub structure, because you guys know that that's a strong structure. Give the king a little bit of a window. And now, take, rook b2, king takes d3, I guess is okay for white. Let's do this one. Tricky move to meet in time pressure with this threat. Yeah, we get that in. And that's game over. Here I was going to take with a bishop, actually, and then try to retreat the king and checkmate. Yes, thank you for the game, Chess State. I do appreciate it. Reasonable compensation by you. Yeah, I have not encountered this approach, like knight bd2 this early, before even moving the light square bishop. Usually, white will play bishop e2 in this type of situation. But you kind of made it work. Maybe my bishop takes f3 move isn't the greatest. The engine is not super thrilled about that. Yeah. Even with this potential win of a pawn, in hindsight, I don't think I would have gone for this. It says you're fine here. But yeah, thank you for the game. Yeah, okay. We played 3 games so far. Let's keep rolling here. We usually get to like 19 or 20. I'm always like trying to track roughly how many games we played in the session. Attack 2007. Let's play d4. We seem to be very consistently in like the, I'd say 18 to 20 range. Let's go here. Inviting a Slav. Ooh, okay. Semi-Slav. I'm going to take. Queen c2, guard the f5 square. Go Timberwolves. That's right. Yeah. It's been an up and down couple of games, the past 2 games with the T-Wolves. All right, let's play bishop g5. This is for my chessable repertoire. Yeah, I recommend this for white. Bishop d3, threatening on h7. Take, and then take here. This is the plan. So usually black plays knight bd7 or maybe h6. I feel like I played attack 2007, but it says we have not played. Okay, castle. Now, usually I'm pretty happy to see h6 because that makes it harder for black to land the knight on g6. Is one consequence of that move. Hello, Mandem. Thank you for tuning in. Yes, this is the Carlsbad structure. Absolutely classic pawn structure. This can also arise out of like an exchange Caro-Kann as well. So very possible you can see it from that opening too. Okay, bishop d6 is interesting. Maybe hinting that black wants to go g5. How should I meet that move? What shall I do against that? I could play maybe knight e2 to try to meet g5 with this. I feel like this is wrong for black, but I can't quite pinpoint why. Sometimes people want to play e4 in these positions, but usually with your knight on f3, that's not the best plan because on take, you would end up with an isolated pawn. Not exactly sure. I'm going to go knight e2. Again, just so I don't have to damage my pawns in the event that the bishop is banished to g3. Yeah, rook b1, b4 is definitely a plan in these positions. The so-called minority attack, trying to create a weakness in the black structure over there. Okay, knight e6. Now maybe knight e5. Let's jump to the center. And look for me to support it with f4. That can very well happen here. It'd also be easier for black to blunder a bishop h7 move in a position like this. Black's got to watch that. So I think knight e6 is kind of inaccurate because it blocked the rook from guarding e5. Now g5. All right, drop this back. This looks risky for black. I think black's overextending their king a bit here, or their king side, rather, a bit. I'm always looking at knight takes f7. Hits the queen, hits the bishop. If king takes, there's bishop g6. f4 looks good here. Let's go ahead and play f4. Seems straightforward. Okay. I really want to go knight takes f7. Oof. Could also take here first, but then knight takes. Knight takes f7, king takes, check. That's probably just good. That's probably just the easiest way to play it because I can pick up the knight. What if here first? I take d8, takes e2 with check, queen takes. I think that's good for me. Let's go for it. Yeah, again, it's consistent with our strategy in Lichess plays. If it looks interesting, you go for it. And I have 34 seconds left. Okay, check. Take. Now I'm on the rook and also queen g6. I think king g8 was a much better move there. But black would have been under pressure regardless. Because now queen g6 is a massive threat, as is just bishop takes e8. So this should be winning. Yeah, my opponent's going to try to give the exchange. Let's go here. Oh, and I win that straight up and resigns. Okay, I thought black was going to insert queen takes e3, but thanks for the game attack 2007. That was an interesting approach that you had with bishop d6. I got to admit, even though the engine says it's dubious, I don't see exactly why. Just wants me to play a calm move here. Rook ae1. I guess that makes sense. You know, I did consider an approach like that, putting a rook on e1. The idea there would be to meet g5 with bishop g3, when after this trade, this pawn is guarded. Yeah, the engine loves this position for white. I don't know, though. It does look a little odd to play that way. I'll have to keep that in mind, that this is an interesting plan for black. Yeah, I felt like knight e6 was a mistake, because after knight e5, I think your position's difficult. That being said, I'm not sure like what I would recommend instead. You probably have to be patient here and keep the e5 square guarded. Wow, I played a 13 average centipawn loss game in this one. Nice. All right, thank you for the game. On to the next one. Weoj. Good luck. Let's play e4 in this game. Yeah, black's king was a little bit weak. Too weak in that one throughout. Hey, David Moss. Good to see you on YouTube. Knight takes f7. Kind of a typical idea there. That happens in the London system, by the way. There's some lines where like a black queen is on d8 and the bishop on d6 is supported by the queen. And especially if there's ever some sort of connection that gets severed between the two, like a black knight goes to d7 usually, that can be an issue. And you might have knight takes f7. Okay, bishop h5. Now this line is sharp. Let's take. I don't exactly know the theoretical status of this. I was kind of like lazily looking into this a while back. I think you go knight e5 here. I do know that black has to be careful on this line, but I think it's okay for black if they know what they're doing. Let's play d4 now. Is queen c7 the right move? Now I'm on this. I need to defend this. Wow, castle's queenside. Okay. Aggressive. Very aggro. Now, one theme in this position is h4, h5. However, with black castling this way, I don't know that I'll be doing that in the near future. I'm definitely looking at taking and then checking here and trying to arrange bishop f4. I could play bishop f4 right away. It's an obvious move. Maybe not best, though. It does look pretty nice, though, so let's just go for it. Threatening knight takes g6, probably among other things. Yeah, very common. I agree. Black often will keep this pin. Bishop takes f3 is much simpler and has been the main line. But I do think bishop h5 is playable from what I remember from the database. Okay, yeah, this is probably a good idea. Not exactly sure which way to take here. Or maybe, this pawn is potential threat. Let's take this way. I want to keep my light square bishop. And then I'm going to go here. Hello, Frederick. Yes, I am taking challenges. There's over 50 challenges right now, but feel free to send one. All right, now as black, you should always think twice about taking a pawn like this that's in opposition to your opponent's queen, because it's going to run smack dab into bishop a6 if black does that. That will be painful. And my opponent seems to be aware of that, so they're not going to play queen takes d4, right? Good. All right, let's go here. Now, my king is a little bit weak. I wouldn't be surprised if the black king pops out here, but I'm thinking the queen knight, especially with my knight now occupying a great square. Black's got to be very careful around their own king. Super careful. I might even be threatening bishop a6 followed by knight b7. All right, so black's going after my king. And here, king g2 would be tidy. Queen e2 if I want to get fancy. Let's just play king g2, though. I'm going to keep this real simple. Black's going to continue attacking. Fine. And now, Rook h1 could lead to a bunch of trades. I'd like to keep a little more pressure than that on board. But you know what? I'm going to play it. I think it's pretty solid. That way, if ever takes, I take back. And I think the endgames are all pretty good for me. I'm actually going to pull a Levant Aronian. If, after all these trades happen, I would play c takes d3 on a capture there. Okay, so here. Yeah, now this is definitely starting to look pretty critical, so I think I might go for that now. Let's take. Because black's been trying to attack me, but I have to remind black that I have an attack of my own at times. Critical moments in the game shaping up here, though. We'll see what happens. Oh, very nice, Frederick. You've been following for 5 years. That's awesome. Well, thank you for being a longtime viewer. That's awesome, man. All right. We're even on the clock here. Sharp position. Ooh, my opponent bails right away, but that does run into this nonetheless. Take. Now I could trade queens. I'm going to do that and play it safe. I'm up in exchange. Hello to the user, bruh. Greetings. Thanks for joining. All right, just defend everything. Defend, defend. Kick the knight back. Let's bring this up. Let's go here. Maybe I walk the king in at some point. That could be interesting. I think this is pretty good too. Go after h5. Let's take here. I'm willing to sack an exchange because I take there with check, and then I take this other pawn. Okay. Interesting one. Thank you for the game. Wow. Yeah, pretty sharp. I mean, it's possible I misplayed it around here. I kind of wonder if you could, in this position, take on g4 and allow the check. And it looks dicey, but you could play king here, check, king here, take. And although I've won material, my king is looking kind of sketchy. I wonder if a move like knight e4 is winning here. Oh no, knight e4, I do control that. So let's say you take here. Then I was thinking I hide here, but I don't know. Like, you could get a nice attack going. This is not so simple for me to defend against. Yeah, Engine says draw here. I was wondering about this in-game. That's the best line. Can also play king takes d6, but knight g4 is even more direct. Because that guards h2 as well, so I can't play my rook there. If I had to go like queen e2, I think now your pieces are getting in the game with decisive effect. f3, queen g3. I'm getting overrun here. So, interesting one. I was a little skeptical of your strategy in the opening, but you made it work. Seems like knight takes c6 is not good for me. Bishop takes c6 is better. Okay, not bad. But yes, if you want a solid option, you can always play bishop takes f3. But you may want to look into the theory of this a little bit more because it can get sharp. Thanks for the game. Oh, Aryan, I see your challenge up there. Good luck to Mushy Peas. Hello, Martin, by the way, on YouTube. Martin asks, do you have a mental checklist before each move? I'm sure I do. Not one that I can put into words necessarily. But, you should always be looking at checks, captures, major threats, so-called forcing moves. You should also be asking yourself, what is the opponent threatening? As soon as the opponent plays their move, that should be part of your checklist, whether it's conscious or subconscious. What is the opponent trying to do with the move that they just played? If it helps to think about it this way, you can ask yourself, if I played a null move for my opponent after they played their move, or sorry, if I played a null move in my own position after they played their move, what would the opponent do with 2 moves in a row, basically? I think that's always a good way to contextualize things. Here I'm going for a little center fork trick. Take that. And let's go knight c6. I don't mind a trade on c6. I think it'd be worth it to get white's light square bishop. Maybe I should have sent it like this way, but this seems okay too. But what do I do with my light square bishop now is the thing. I'm going to go here, I think. Hello, Brady Hanks. Let's go here. So I can meet this with this if necessary. Bishop g5 might be decent. I'm probably a little bit worse here. I'm trying to blockade against this d-pawn. I don't play a lot of the Pirtz proper with g6. Okay, we'll drop back. Maybe I go bishop d7 in the near future. Ooh, aggressive move. I don't know about that one. It kind of leaves this bishop stranded a little bit. Maybe just knight f5. Let's do that. Attack this bishop. Yeah, e6, I think, is definitely not ideal. I kind of instantly regretted knight c6. I should not have put the knight there. I should have gone here. That's a lot more standard. I don't know why I put the knight on c6. I thought maybe I could use the b4 square. I was kind of drawing a parallel to some other lines, but with white having the pawn on c3, it didn't really make much sense what I did. Okay, but now I get the bishop pair. Hello, Ricardo. Good to see you too. Yeah, you got to know what you're doing in the Pirtz. Definitely. It's a demanding line move order-wise, for sure. Kind of like the King's Indian, like I was talking about earlier. Let's go here. I feel like this knight's going to come to e5. Let's go here, attack this pawn. Okay, I don't think my opponent saw it, so let's just take. I've got f7 secure enough. That looks good. Would I recommend a study in the Slav defense? Yeah, so there's the Slav, and there's also the semi-Slav, and even the Shebanenko Slav. So you've got options there. You could check out some courses on Chessable. Sam Shanklin does have a semi-Slav course that's pretty well received. Yeah, check out the short and sweet, the free short and sweet courses over there. You might find something of use. You can also look on my channel if you want, because I have a lot of games where I've like tagged the opening in particular. So you might find some value there. If you search like standard chess Slav defense, that'll probably do it. All right, now I should be winning. My opponent's position fell apart a little bit. Okay, and let's see. Probably simplest just to retreat, but I want to go here, I think, when I retreat. If I go here, there's a trade and I would lose the bishop. So, yeah, let's go here. It's still a little bit tricky just because he has some slight pressure. But maybe this is the most solid move now, surprisingly. I want to neutralize the rooks down the file. I don't want to deal with any pins or anything like that. I could pull this bishop back here if I want to cover d8. I'm going to work my way out of this eventually, up a piece. Yeah, let's do that. I think that's a responsible thing to do. Maybe I even play e5 after this. That's probably a pretty good plan. My opponent's diving in, but as long as I don't let a like a rook appear without consequence on h3, I'll be fine here. e4. Let's just go bishop f5. And now let's go bishop e6. This will be decided by the clock, but black is winning. Okay, thank you for the game, Mushy Peas. You had me under pressure. Yeah, again, this is a challenging line. Knight f3 and bishop e3. White can think about playing queen d2 and looking for bishop h6 or castling long. I think this, generally speaking, should be fine for black. Knight takes e4, getting in this center fork trick. But again, I really misplaced the knight. Knight c6. Yeah, knight d7. Definitely the best move. Tiny, tiny edge for white. Basically nothing. But that does look a lot more sound to play the knight that way. Hello, Tony Chess. Good to see you in the chat. Thank you. Try your best. Because the thing about knight c6, just where is the knight going to go in the future? I pressured d4 slightly, but that's so well guarded, I'm not going to win it. And if I had access to the b4 square, it might make sense. But otherwise, I think it's a bit of a mistake to play this way. Okay. Why is the semi-Slav semi when no other openings are semi? Well, there are other semi openings, at least one that I know of, which Grizzly Bear put in the chat. The semi-Tarash. Okay, thanks for the game, Mushy Piece. I think later on, yeah, you had a nice position. Probably lost the thread, maybe with knight g5. I didn't think that was the best move. You're still better even after that. Yeah, still better here. About a half pawn. Probably the real error was not noticing this threat. If you play a5 here, you're still squeezing. So thanks for the game. There's also the lightly fried liver. Nice. Slaninka, you're up next. Good luck. Is chess your job, John? Yes, it is. Yes. Let's play a Sicilian. Yeah, I'm mostly a chess teacher, but I stream, I make YouTube videos, chessable courses. So we have another Bowdler attack, as played in that first game. We'll just go for d5. I think it's wise to throw in the move h6 if you get a chance in this line, just so bishop g5 doesn't bother you. Because white could play bishop g5 to attack the knight on f6, which is in turn defending d5. Could be slightly annoying. Do I mostly give lessons online? Yep. Yeah, definitely the case these days. I used to teach a little more often in person pre-pandemic, but nowadays I'm almost totally online, yeah. Okay. So if I play bishop h5, like this could be possible again, this sort of thing. I'm going to do it again, though. I know the engine like doesn't always like it, but I think it makes the game more interesting. We'll see how white handles this. All right. Now let's go here. I think knight e5 was probably a better attempt there. Hello, chess drinker. Thank you, John Carter. Let's play this. Attack the queen. Also remind white that c2 is weak. White has to go back to d1. Queen e3 would be a natural blunder here. Knight takes c2. Yep, I do all right, Jay Hoobie. Was chess teacher a common thing in the past? Well, yeah, I think chess coaches and chess instruction has been a thing for quite a long time. Chess is a highly teachable game. But I do think the opportunities now are better than ever because of the internet. Plain and simple. I've said this many times on stream before, but I would not be pursuing chess full time if it were not for the internet. I'm almost 100% sure. The logistics of trying to make a living teaching chess in person are very difficult. Now I get in d4. This is a fork. Pulled the knight back. Yeah, threatened d4, and my opponent missed it. That is a common pattern you got to watch out for. 2 minor pieces on the same rank with 1 square in between. Always be alert to that. John, what do you like better, playing on a real board or online? You know, interesting question. I like them both for different reasons. There is no better experience than playing, and my opponent misses the bishop, than playing on a nice wood set, like a physical wood set. I think there's very few things in chess better than that. So I highly recommend you guys pick up a wood set at some point. It's a nice conversation piece. Even if you're not going to push the pieces around too often, it's great to have. Thank you, Slaninka, for the game. Yeah, you were doing all right up until maybe knight h4. That move looks a little squirrely to me. I did think knight e5 was a bit more consistent, because if you can trade this knight, you do build up some pressure on d5. So I was thinking about castling here and allowing you to take either of these pieces. I was going to try my hand again at this sort of thing, opening the file, but that's probably what you should do. Thanks for the game. But I like playing online, of course, as well. I mean, just the sheer number of games that you can get in online, all of the wonderful features that we enjoy with online chess is pretty cool. Let's play e6. Good luck, blunder like me too. Oh, transposition to a French defense. Not too many d4 players do that in my experience. And let's play a winnower. Do you usually go over students' games during your lessons? Yes, very frequently. Absolutely. Yup. I would say the lower rated the student, the more often like game analysis takes priority, because lower rated students do need a ton of feedback on their games and less like academic chess instruction, if you will. More like, do this, not that. And here's why this bad habit of yours is something you need to get rid of. That sort of instruction. Let's go c5. I'm going to try to take this pawn with the knight. This is not like a foolproof plan, but I'm going to try to do it. Oh, c6. Very nice. Yeah, I kind of don't want to take that pawn. All right, we're going to play an unsound gambit in a bid for pressure against the enemy position. Oh, he doesn't take it. My man does not take it. All right, I'm going to give him one more chance to take it. He's not going to do it, though. All right, fine. I'll take back. I thought white would at some point capture there, but blunder like me too decided not to. How many players do you think you played, John? Oof, interesting question. I mean, probably in the thousands for sure. Probably tens of thousands. Do you use the neck rest of your chair a lot? We're getting some interesting questions. You know, this backrest, yeah, this support is pretty nice. This chair is amazing, by the way. I've turned some people onto this chair. I do not get any sponsorship money from them, but I'm not even sure that the chair is still available, but it's the Staples Hyken, Hyken. And Staples is the store that sells it. Best chair I've ever had. It's quite affordable, too, is the nice thing. Let's go knight d5. I would love for white to repair my structure here. I don't know. You'd have to ask them, Henry. All right, two knights versus two bishops battle. Who is better here? This pawn is weak. I'm definitely a little bit uncertain about the prospects of this pawn. I'd love to trade this pawn off. And my opponent's giving me an opportunity. I'm going to seize that opportunity. Trying to trade off a weak pawn for a strong pawn. Now I feel like I'm a little bit better here. Ooh, well, definitely now I'm a lot better. Blunder like me. Unfortunately, they lived up to their username. I'm sorry. I couldn't resist. But that was a bit of a fortunate break because I think Blunder like me was doing fine, even with the two knights versus the two bishops. If Black had, ooh, Blunder like me too. Yeah, the long range bishop move. Yeah, if White had ensured that that pawn remained isolated and maybe even backward on the c6 pawn, or I mean, I guess not backward, but just weak in general on the c pawn on the c file. I don't know. We'll check the evaluation. What player have I played the most? That's a really interesting question. Over the board, it's probably a fellow international master from my state, Sean Nagel. I probably played him like 10 times, maybe. We just played in a lot of local tournaments, state championships, stuff like that. Online, I don't know. It might be someone random I played like an extensive bullet match against. Like, if you guys know the player Tu Huang, I haven't seen Tu Huang on much lately, but I know there's a video on my YouTube channel, which you can find if you search my name. And I once played like a 100 game bullet match with them, and I played them many, many other times than that. So it's probably someone random like that, that otherwise, you know, I've like never played outside of bullet, maybe occasionally blitz. All right. Yeah, so that was a blunder there. Kind of poor form letting your time run out unless you had connection issues. Don't do that, guys. But yeah, I think this position was quite reasonable for White. Maybe 95 somewhere. I was thinking that could be a problem. But I was very happy to get in c5. Try to trade your weak pawns for your enemy pawns, especially if those pawns are at all strong, like this d4 pawn. All right, let's go to another game. Oh, nice, Rish. Yeah, I do not do manual acceptances of challenges. This is all random. Let's play e5 against Howell. This is David Howell. David Howell. All right. Let's play mainline. Re Lopez. Play b5. This is a quiet variation for White. Definitely playable. In fact, a lot of the mainline Re Lopez theory these days revolves around White putting the pawn on d3, not necessarily going for d4. And here, I feel like I should go after this light score bishop. That's usually the thing to do once you've forced it to retreat to b3. Ever played Levy Rosman? Only online. Yeah, we've never played over the board. I have not played Eric Rosen over the board either, just online. Okay, please do not spam the chat on YouTube. Or on Twitch, for that matter. Especially with questions I've already answered. I'm going to hold this bishop hostage. Let's go here. I'm not going to take it quite yet. This is yet another case where I'm tempting this pawn to go forward. Oh, yeah, Eric and I did play yesterday in the titled arena on Lichess. Shout out to Lichess for the titled arenas that they regularly have. Okay, how to handle this? Maybe bishop g5? Trying to activate this bishop. I'm really inviting g4, but again, I wouldn't mind that necessarily. We really might need a YouTube mod to make sure they can time someone out here who's spamming the chat. What is the best opening against the French? Please show us practically if possible. Man, if I knew, I would tell you guys, but I think it's a little difficult to find like a line in the French that I'd recommend like 100% of the time. It's kind of weird. French is like a bit of a mystery in that sense, right? Because it's a tough opening to play. Like even French players will tell you that. Like it's a very awkward opening to play at times. But also, I've never felt that there's a single weapon from the white side that I'm like totally comfortable playing forever, you know? I usually play either on move 3, knight c3 or knight d2, so 2 of the main lines. Or sometimes I'll play king's Indian attack. I don't play a whole lot of advanced French, I got to admit. Let's try to... I don't know if I should keep queens on board here. Yeah, actually, let's do it. I'll play ambitiously. I'm going to take this at some point, but let's keep queens on board for now. You will be GM tomorrow. Well, I'm glad you have such optimism. If that were at all possible, I'd be inclined to believe you. You know, I don't really play the exchange French. No. But I know exchange French is recommended sometimes like International Master Christoph Selecki recommends that in his course. His Keep It Simple course. Hello, Henrik. Thank you for tuning in. Have I played Ben Feingold OTB? Yes, I have. Yeah, I do not have a good record against Ben. I think Ben has beaten me twice. I think we've only played 2 times, and I lost both games. Ben is strong. Could go here. Again, I don't really want to trade in this position, but I might have to. Yeah, that check was kind of mindless. I'm just going to trade now. Let's go F5. I have the very extended bathtub structure here. The highly extended version. Ooh. I think my opponent's starting to notice the clock situation. It's playing for the clock, but I'm up a pawn now. Whether I can keep this pawn is another matter. I mean, this actually looks kind of difficult to keep this pawn. I don't know why I put my bishop here instead of here. That was kind of foolish, but whatever. Maybe now I can go up and attack this pawn. The king leads from the front. Oh, and another opponent who overlooks a long-range bishop move. Always watch those long-range diagonal moves, guys. Can I trap this knight somehow? Take away its squares. Check. Oh, I had mate in 1. All right. Thank you, Howell, for the game. GG. That was close. Yeah, you were doing all right. Again, I think in theory, black should be pretty happy here if they can go after the bishop, but these games tend to be grinds. I don't think I was really that much better throughout the middle game. Let's see here. I'm kind of curious how I could have played this in better fashion. Queen d2 is a good move. Queen d2. Engine really approves of that move. Attacking this. Queen e2. Then queen h6. Well, that's pretty subtle. Trying to threaten bishop h5. Wow. That's deep. All right. I don't think I'm going to find that in a blitz game. I think you played all right. Yeah. Probably you just started panicking a little bit too early with the clock situation, like f4. Even after this, you have a reasonable position, reasonable compensation because your knight's hopping all over the place. But Yeah, just maybe being a little more patient around here. Knight e4 looks pretty natural, I'd say. Thanks for the game. Tough one. All right, moving on here. Delta V, 1493. Good luck. What have I not played? Someone asked for an Icelandic gambit. I'll try to play that. The knight f6 Scandi instead of my usual queen takes d5 Scandi. Hi, John. Is it good to meet every opening with c6? Well, you could and get away with it, but I would say it's suboptimal. But in your honor, let's play c6 here. Not that this is what you meant, but like c6 on move 1 is a move you could pre-move as black, and it's going to be reasonable against any move white throws against you. And you're probably playing Caro-Kann and maybe Slavs, who my opponent does not take the pawn. All right. Now we're transposing actually into an exchange Caro-Kann, or a reverse Carlsbad structure, if you want to think about it that way. I've never played the Burton's 3-pawn gambit. I have no idea what that is. Sounds interesting. All right. And now, let's go here. So if h3, it's one of these situations again. I'm probably just going to take if that happens. I have been to Montreal, yeah. I was accosted on the streets of Montreal one time. I was playing in the Canadian Open in 2008 and walking home after one of my games, and two guys walked up to me, like we were walking past each other on the street, and one guy like shoved me and started speaking to me in French. I'm pretty sure he was under the influence. But Montreal is a beautiful city. Pretty cool city. Do I know what the Bong Cloud is? Of course. Of course. Yeah, here, yet again, I think g4 followed by knight e5 is a pretty good idea for white. White does not play it, but that was challenging. I actually did not take my own advice. White played h3, and I forgot to take. I'll show that after the game. All right, let's just castle here. I'll try to hold this in reserve. Thank you, Henry. Do I know the Greek opening? I feel like I should, but I don't recall the moves, no. Now white plays g4, but this is nice for me because this pawn is very weak. Maybe here I even play knight b4. I could pick up the pawn right away if I want. But I could also play knight b4. Let's do it. I might be back sometime, yeah. To Montreal. Okay, take. Now, will my opponent see that that knight is supported? Evidently, white does not. A lot of people are missing these diagonal moves today. I would say that's not so different than usual. It's just a pervasive thing. But trust me, if you guys can see yourself making similar blunders, it's something you might want to specifically train because it is absolutely pervasive. Long-range queen and bishop moves people often miss. Possibly white saw that it was defended and just wanted to get rid of the knight because they thought it was annoying. But that was not worth it, giving up the exchange. The Greek is f6, king f7, or at least Magnus calls it that. Oh, interesting. I didn't know that Magnus referred to it as such. Yeah, again, it sounds interesting. I feel like I've heard people say it. Oh, that was you, Timo? Were you the player with Blunder in their username? Blunder like me too? Oh, okay, yeah. I wasn't sure if you had like rage quit or what was going on, but I appreciate your follow up. Blunder like me too said in the YouTube chat that he had a problem with his browser or his phone. Or actually, yeah, his browser. No problem. Thanks for the game. All right, let's retreat here. Tuck the queen back. I've got this pin going, so f6 would be nice. However, after takes, I can't take with the pawn because of the pin going here. So let's first kick this, actually. Kick that knight out. Then I'm going to go here. And then I can win this knight. All right. Thank you for the game, Delta. So let me show that variation. Again, if you retreat the bishop here, you do just have to be ready for g4 followed by knight e5. Because that double attacks here. And if black defends the knight, this move h4 can be annoying, in my experience. Because if white's threatening h5 and the bishop is lacking squares, so if black plays like h6, white can take and damage the pawns. Here the engine thinks this is okay, probably because white has weakened themselves too in the process. But, just be advised that sort of thing can happen. And that simpler would probably be for me to just take on f3. All right, moving along here. We're getting some efficient games in. Thanks everyone for joining once again. Even Man Jeebus, good luck. Thanks to Lichess, as always, too, for putting on Lichess plays. Lichess is a completely free site. It pledges to always remain free. No ads, no subscriptions. You can support Lichess. You can get the wings next to your name by supporting for a small amount, even if you want. But that's totally voluntary. Lichess is a great site, so definitely make use of all the features. Up top here, you guys can't see all the tabs, but there's all sorts of learning features. The Lichess study tool is a personal favorite of mine. Definitely check out under the watch tab the broadcasts that they regularly have on. There's some really, really good stuff. Do you get free wings for streaming on their channel? No. No. I've had these wings for a long time. Have I ever played the Bong Cloud in a game against a titled player? I have, but not in a serious game. Only in online games, yeah. For fun. Yet again, I'm retreating the bishop here, by the way. I'm going to try to keep the tension here a bit. Because I found that that's kind of annoying for white when you keep the tension there. Let's go knight e7. So if takes, I'm going to go knight f5. I'm going to attack the bishop, maybe look to recover the pawn. This is potentially a gambit, but I think I would have a lot of compensation if white tried to challenge it. Oh, yeah, check out the leagues as well. The Lone Wolf League, the 45+45 League. They're both great. Hello, CSO Love. All right, now I take here, in between move, fork. Otherwise, that would be a double attack. That would win white material. Blackmar, Dmar. I might be able to play that. All right. Bishop d3 comes to mind. Yeah, let's do bishop d3. Normally, I just play bishop e7 there, but I'm going to try to keep both my bishops in this position. I like this position. Pretty compact situation for me. I'm attacking the knight now. Okay, white defends. We'll go here. The bishops are reigning supreme in this position. Now, I'm attacking both knights, but I'm not exactly going to take one of those knights yet. But watch for my pawns to come up. Maybe g5 followed by h5 coming in the near future. That could very well be played. Queen f1 is interesting. Kind of an ambush move. Maybe looking to move this at some point. I think I should maybe castle this direction. And let's see if white loses sight of this knight. I'm very curious what white's going to do with this knight. Because white wants to move this knight, but they can't because this one will hang. Yeah, so white retreats. I think that is preparation for trying to move this knight somewhere in the future. Yep. And they do that immediately. However, this doesn't look like something I'm going to hate because let's say I take here. Which strong GMs have you played OTB? Wesley So, I've played over the board twice, actually, in tournaments around here because he lives in my state. So he's local. And he used to play in a lot of state tournaments. Well, not a lot, but he would occasionally play in an event every year. Play local players. Put his FIDE rating at risk, which was pretty cool. I really want to take here. Calculating it. Let's just do it. I played Ding Liren in the Pro Chess League. That was pretty memorable. That was cool. I analyzed that game on my YouTube channel. It was a Grunfeld. I have played Sam Sevian, yep. I played Jeffrey Zhang. Let's take this one. Oh. Right, will not be able to come back from that one. Oh. Didn't I beat Ding? No, I wish I could say that, but no, I did not beat Ding. Well, I just spoiled the video now, but can confirm I did not beat Ding Liren. Thanks for the game. It always felt like you were in a little bit of trouble against the bishops when the king side started to weaken. G4, I think, is a little sketchy. I can understand your desire to play that, but I would be nervous playing that move for sure, because your king side's pretty much permanently weak thereafter. I don't know, though. Maybe you can make this work somehow. The engine still seems to think this is playable for you. Yeah, knight g2. The pawns start coming forward. Yeah, this is probably releasing the rook and the queen down the file too early when there's tension here. And I definitely agree with what the engine's saying. G5 seems better. Trying to keep things relatively closed. Tough against those bishops, though. Absolutely. Yeah. Thanks for the game, check, Matt. I see you in the chat there. Okay. Who is up next? Domino, Domino. Good luck. Let's play d4 in this one. Maybe I'll play a Black Mar D-Mar. Someone was asking about that. Oh, Jobava. Yeah, Jobava's a good one, too. I would definitely think about playing the Jobava London, but I'll play Black Mar D-Mar. The thing about the Black Mar D-Mar is black can transpose to a French or a Caro-Kann if they want. Okay, knight c6 is really interesting. I don't think I've ever had this position before. Let's go e5. I'm going to try to now play it like an advanced French, but one where the black knight is sitting on a poor square because it blocks the c-pawn. Anyone know if John is a gamer? I see him as an Elden Ring player. Yeah, I am not a gamer. I used to be when I was younger. In my high school years, I did game. But nowadays, nope. I've heard Elden Ring is pretty addictive, though. It does look like a pretty insane game. I see a lot of people playing that. Always take en passant. In this case, taking en passant is good because this pawn on e6 is very likely to be weak in the middle game. That's the main reason to take. Some people would be hesitant to do that. Like, I do see that a lot. Like, they're like, oh, I don't want to trade my strong center pawn, but it's well worth it to get access to pressuring this pawn in the long run. Absolutely. This pawn is a huge liability for black. How many people in the queue? Well, yeah, it's not exactly a queue because I'm not going in order, but there are over 50 challenges right now. There's a lot. But don't let that deter you. You can still send a challenge. What's my opinion on the Nimzo Larson? Interesting to play every once in a while. Not really suitable as a mainline weapon, though, or a main weapon for most players. Nice little structure here. Now, how will I pressure this pawn further, though? That's the thing. This move doesn't do a whole lot in my mind. I mean, I'm tempted to play knight g5, but you know what? Maybe black will trap their own queen. Maybe Domino will do that. Oh, they're dangerously close. This is like that tile game, you know, where you're like rearranging the one tile trying to get it somewhere, and like every other space on the board is covered. Let's start expanding this direction. There's always like a square the queen can come back to. Come on, play bishop e8. If black had played knight e7 and allowed knight e5 or knight g5, that would have been brutal. What do I think about the Jobava London? I think the Jobava London's a really interesting opening. I definitely enjoy playing it from time to time. Knight e5 again, super obvious, but after queen e8, what am I doing? I want to keep that in reserve. I'm just going to take. Yeah, only playing 3+0. What am I drinking? I am drinking coffee. My usual. All right, should I go here? Let's invade with the rook. So what I was kind of doing on this wing is trying to create a second area of the board that black needs to worry about, in addition to the e6 pawn and what's going on in the center, probing on that side of the board all of a sudden. Okay, now let's play knight e5. And queen here, I'm really close to maybe taking. Even still, I probably won't do it because of queen taking back. So let me see if I can increase the pressure a little bit. These two pieces are not participating in the assault, so I would like to find them better homes. Like getting the knight here would be awesome. That takes a while, but I have such control in this position, I can probably start trying to do it. So maybe I do this. The dark square bishop's going to be a lot harder to figure out what to do with it. Okay, interesting move here, knight e4. I'm going to let black take that if they want. We're going to allow a trade here. If black is so inclined, I'm going to take back this way. Position's changing a little bit. But I still like where my knight is headed. Maybe to d4 now, even. Oh, this pawn is hanging. I didn't even see that. Okay, well, that could change things if black takes that. Black goes there. Let's just play bishop e3. I'm still going to allow black to take this because I didn't see it the first time. I feel like I should give black another chance to take it. I'm not sure it's even good for black to take it, though. Okay. Knight there. Maybe black wants to get like this and this going at some point, but I still have a pretty nice grip on things. Like queen d5 is playable, but I always have this move to diffuse the queen h1 threat. And let's go here now. All right, Domino, thank you for the game. You defended pretty well there. Good game. GG. The opening was hard, and so was the middle game because of the structure that you had, but I think you held your own quite well. It'd be very easy to collapse in a position like this, and I thought you might be trapping your own queen somewhere, but no, I don't think you ever gave me a clear opening, although I'm sure the engine will point out somewhere I could have improved. Yeah, interesting here. So the engine doesn't mind me playing on the queen side, but it suggests b3. In hindsight, that looks a lot better because bishop a3 actually is a threat. b4, I blocked the path for the bishop, so b3 is much more... it's much sneakier, and it actually can try to activate that piece, which otherwise in the game was poorly placed. I had a 5.4 blunder. Let's see where. I don't doubt it. Yeah, knight e4, I just did not see that this pawn was attacked. That's kind of funny. Ooh, bishop e3. Ah, so here it really dislikes it because black did have d4. Right. Yeah, this was the time to do d4. Oh, look at this. Black's completely winning if that gets played. So I was definitely too casual about that c3 pawn. Because the real problem with d4 is that queen d5 is now enabled. And if I can't interfere with queen d5, like let's say I pull the bishop here, if I can't easily interfere with the queen bishop battery, I'm in trouble. So Domino had a moment there where that was working due to my laissez-faire attitude to the c3 pawn. Yeah, so knight e4 I think is a good practical try. I probably have to take a move to defend that pawn, like rook back or something. Yeah, thanks for the game. Tough one. But I would avoid that whole f5 plan, the kind of backward structure. I know the opening was weird, e4, but best is to take. And if you play French or Caro-Kann, you can also do this or this directly. All right, who's up next? Reman. Good luck. Oh, thank you, Dan Wren. You like the Battersea videos. Yeah, that's a series of videos I made at the Battersea Chess Club in London, England. Over the board blitz videos. Rahman, are you there? Looks like Rahman is unaccounted for. So let's go on to the next game. Cold orange juice. Good luck. Do I prefer cats or dogs? I like both of them, actually, even though I don't have a cat or a dog. I like both. Let's play Nimzo style. We'll go e6. Ooh, yeah. London. All right. I'm just going to play b6. We'll play something patient here. I know that would have been pretty bad to lose that last game, given how much of a grip I had on the position. But it was definitely possible to lose that. Do I have any holiday plans for the summer? I do not, no. No travel plans as of now. I'm going to do this. Looking for e5. Ooh, and I get e5 in. It's going to be a fork once again. The e4 idea wins a piece. As a London player, you got to watch out for that because very often London players put their knight on f3 and the light square bishop on d3. And with this bishop on f4, the London bishop, it's prone to getting hit by a pawn with this fork coming up. You got to be paranoid about that. Hey, what's up, Dilth Crane? I'm going to go with the Matrix. Old Benoni. I don't play a whole lot of Old Benoni, but maybe. What are my most memorable chess matches or tournaments? I would say winning the U.S. National High School Championship when I was 15. That was definitely memorable. I won that tournament 7-0, and it was my first year playing in it. I was like a first-year high school student, a freshman. So that for sure was a career event for me. I won the National Junior High Championship as well. I tied for first in that, and I won on tie breaks, actually. That was pretty cool. I beat Grandmaster Alex Shabalov when he was U.S. champion in a tournament, too. Also memorable. I'm attacking here. I'm already up a piece, so I've got some runway. I can castle queenside, too, whenever I want to tuck the king away. 4-time winner of the Okoboji Open. Yeah, this was funny. If you go to my Wikipedia page, for whatever reason, like they list that. And it's like a relatively small, tournament in the Midwest US. But it's like one of the top entries on my Wikipedia. Like he is a 4-time winner of the Okoboji Open, which I can't imagine too many people know about. I think the way Wikipedia works for a lot of like entries is because it heavily prioritizes like things that have been published. Probably that has been published in some sort of blog or maybe like a local news article or something. And they like to link it to that, in the footnotes. I feel like Cold Orange Juice is trying to set up a checkmate on d7. So this is kind of cruel, but I want to see if Cold Orange Juice plays Queen d7 thinking it's checkmate. This is very cruel. I shouldn't do this. This is like playing with your food. I'm sorry. It just resigns. Okay. I wanted to give Cold Orange Juice a brief moment of elation. Nah, this is cruel. I can't do this. I have to control myself. Yeah, that bishop was hanging, but I was really curious, like if Cold Orange Juice would play that. All right, thanks for the game, Cold Orange Juice. You do got to watch out for the fork, though, in these positions. So, after Queen e7, a good move would be Bishop g3. Just pull the bishop back prior to Black playing e5, so Black can't play e5 with tempo. Then that gives you a chance to maybe take and play like e4, or even move the light square bishop again. Something along those lines. Okay. Hey, Doth Crane, what's up? You got a game. This is our first game, Doth Crane. We've never played before. That's crazy. Oh, that's not good, Doth Crane. Well, it could be. I mean, you're not banned from playing. But I hope your Lichess experience is on the up and up. I like Do the Crane better. Yeah, I call him Doth Crane, but it might be Do the Crane. Absolutely. All right, another one of these positions. Again, I'm often going Bishop G4 here, but this time maybe I'll keep the light square bishop back for a little bit. We'll see how this shapes up. It is Do the Crane, but I've never corrected you. Got it. You just like Doth Crane, don't you? All right, let's break the pin here. Which OTB defeat keeps you awake some nights? Oh, that's brutal. Nothing that keeps me awake some nights, but I definitely remember one game I lost when I was at 2000 against 1200 in like the first round of a pretty big money event, like for scholarship money, basically, but that was pretty bad. Ever played Sam Shanklin? Yes, I played Sam. I feel like I played him twice. I lost to him one time about 10 years ago. I feel like I played him another time, though. Maybe I have only played him once. Don't quite recall, but yeah, he's very tough, obviously. He's 2,700. Back when I played him, I think he was like an up-and-coming IM. Let's take this way. Let's try to go for this. I think B4 would have been a lot better there than A4, trying to clamp the C5 square. What happened against the 1200 blunder or just grind? That 1200 just outplayed me. Yeah, they really outplayed me. They were underrated. We were both kids at the time. I mean, I was probably like maybe 14 or 15, but they were a bit younger and definitely underrated. But still, I got thoroughly outplayed in that game. The worst part, it was the Scandinavian. That was the worst part. Pain. Okay, I've got some nice pressure here. How to increase it? Bishop e4? Bishop e4 is kind of a funny move. I'm going to do it. Now, knight takes e4 could be played, but then I take here, and if Do the Crane takes c5, they would lose their queen. That's my thinking. I'm trying to strand this rook out here. If that's not enough to put you off the Scandi, then nothing is, says Flintock. That's tough, but possibly fair, yeah. All right, now I'm going to go back. And I'm going to claim that I've induced a weakness here with f4. And next, let's see. This knight is probably bound for d4. Maybe I can sack an exchange coming up here. That seems kind of interesting. Let's go rook c4. I have a plan. Yeah, I want to take. I don't know how great this is. I want to do it, though. It's not too convincing. I was thinking take, queen c4, hit this, hit this. He's going to get a lot of compensation, though. Again, let's do it. It's going to put white under big pressure. Maybe the compensation white gets is not as menacing as I think it is. Because white's really lacking coordination here. And my light square bishop is awesome. I think if I ever put the bishop back on e4, it's probably going to cost white in exchange. And do the crane blunders the rook. So I was thinking rook a1 or maybe b3 there would have been better moves. So a bit anticlimactic. Now let's go bishop e4. I did not make an April Fool's video this year. No. Yeah, I did start posting again a little bit on YouTube on my personal account. But I did not make a April Fool's video. Okay, take. Also, queen f1 directly was good there. Threatening checkmate in a couple different ways. And that is game over. Thank you, Joel Crane, for the game. Let's see what the engine thinks of that exchange sack. I think black's a lot better here, but you're holding on. Will it like rook takes d4? It says bishop e4 is the best move, but rook takes d4 is right up there. Okay, now it does approve of it. It just does seem like with white having so many weak pawns and me having such a compact structure here that this is justified. But yeah, probably you can like throw this pawn in the way to have the rook help defend here. I was kind of thinking something like this and then take. And it just seemed like there's going to be a lot of heat coming down on the white position. So, okay, my instincts were kind of vindicated there. Thanks for the game. I do think a4, yeah, a4 is a pretty significant strategic mistake. You're already fighting with 2 knights versus 2 bishops, so that may be a slight cause for concern for you. Had you played b4, though, I think you stand a pretty good chance of getting a total grip on this position. I'd really be lacking a pawn break right here. And even though I have the bishop pair, it's not obvious how I break out of this. I'd have to work pretty hard to do that. So dead equal according to the engine. Actually, in a blitz game especially, I would take white here for sure. So thanks for the game. Okay, Lanja Loper, you're up. Let's play a bird. F4. Okay, we're down the home stretch today. We still got about 30 minutes left. If anyone wants to get in a last-minute challenge. Again, lots of challenges still, but I'll try to get through a few more games. So we're playing like a bird Larson, going for maybe putting the bishops on adjacent diagonals here. Let's play that way. There's a very famous game, Lasker versus Bauer from 1889 with this setup. Yes, that's right. Idiot Chess. Just quoted that game. Now, Bauer did not play very well in that game. Played very cooperatively, but I'm going to try to recreate what happened with the double bishop sack. What's your least favorite approach to face from white in the Scandi? From white in the Scandi. Let's play a3, because knight b4 is always annoying. Lasker actually omitted this move, and Bauer never played it, but never played the knight b4 reply. Tennyson Gambit? Oh, no, I love facing the Tennyson Gambit. My least favorite reply. I would say the knight f3 option on move 3. So e4, d5, e takes d5, queen takes d5, knight f3. That's hard to like spice up the game against. And It leads to positions that are unlike other variations of the Scandi a lot of times. Okay, e5 looks a little panicky. My opponent's trying to break out, but that is just a pawn. Let's take here. I'm still trying for some form of a double bishop sack. Still trying to set it up. I've got both bishops in position, but I need to do something about this knight soon. It's not exactly a textbook version of it. Oh, and my opponent blunders the knight. Now I'm threatening mate. I could see black maybe missing that too because the bishop's a long ways away. Black might play something like queen d7. Oh, okay. To black's credit, they play g6. They saw the threat. Let's jump up. Now I'm threatening knight h6. Knight h6 checkmate. Should we turn off the stream if we play against you? Totally up to you. I would recommend that, yeah. So you get like a full playing experience. It's going to be more interesting to you, and you can always watch the VOD back. You can watch this and hear my thoughts later. Oh, am I playing against you? Checkmate. Hey, John, can you try playing the Brussels Gambit? I do not know what the Brussels Gambit is. People always throw out these like random obscure gambits. And yeah, very frequently I have no idea what they're talking about. Trying to get the rook involved down the file here. All right, let's just crash through. Seems like my opponent is trying to set up a double bishop sack of their own. But my attack is getting there first. It sounds made up. Yeah, Brussels Gambit sounds kind of made up. No one in the chat seems to know what it is. And that is checkmate. Thank you for the game, Loper. So this is a bit defensive how you played this. Like maybe I can show this from Black's point of view. When you play moves like knight c6 in kind of these closed positions and you block the c pawn, and then you put the bishops like here and here, this is already pretty cramped. You want to try to have a little more forward territory guarded by your pawns. And your bishops deserve to be on slightly more active squares. Bishop d7, this is like a classic development of a bishop that on paper it might seem decent because you're getting the piece off the back rank, but it actually like doesn't help you very much because it blocks in your queen. Also takes away a square from your knight potentially. So a better setup would be like c5. If you play like c5, then knight c6, maybe bishop d6, castles, perhaps something like b6, bishop b7, maybe look to push a pawn. You want to start trying to push forward with those pawns protected by the pieces to break out. You kind of did that later with e5, but that square was simply far too contested by my pieces. You only had one defender, and I had 1, 2, 3 attackers. So you want to think a little earlier how to control territory with the pawns, even enlisting the help of the side pawns. Like it's totally okay to do that, especially when the opponent's kind of sitting back. I haven't played pawn e4, pawn d4. Feel free to take more space, even on the flanks with your pawns. Thanks for the game. Okay, moves is up next. 1780. Good luck, moves. Andras Toth has a good study about that. Oh yeah, he always talks about the Senta. The Senta. Have I checked out the Scandinavian Supercharged on Chessable? Who's the author of that? I might have before. Is it Chess for Life? Oh, yeah. Yeah, Chess for Life makes good stuff. Definitely. Pretty well-researched courses. Let's take it with a bishop. Okay, I'll castle this way. Yet again, I'm going to keep my light square bishop. I think here I'm going to go to this square. I'm going to try to put it on a slightly different diagonal. Let's jump in with the knight. Oh, yeah. I think the price is right. Got these cheeseburgers, man. Yeah, I think that'd be a good purchase. All right, let's take the light square bishop. Now, again, kind of like I was just talking about in the last game, I don't love my knight here. I'm not hugely into a knight place like that. Let's go here. I might have to give back the bishop pair just to reposition how I want. So if white takes here, I'm going to take with a pawn. Kind of shore up the central squares. That's my plan. Oh boy, YouTube chat is getting spammed again. At least Nightbot took care of it a little bit. By the way, what's going on in the American Cup? Have you guys been following that tournament? Really exciting knockout event with an open section and also a women's section. I'm going to check the results afterwards. Okay, so now I have knight versus bishop. This is pretty solid, though. I think maybe white can claim to be slightly better here, but doesn't look like anything significant. Levon had some interesting fashion choices. He always does seem to have some interesting fashion choices. All right, this is a little loose. I could think about knight b4 here. See, this is the type of thing I was mentioning earlier in the stream. Going after a pawn on a2, like here, let's say rook d2 and then knight takes a2. It's something I intuitively want to do, but I'm sure it's bad. My knight will get trapped. Let's do this move. Surprisingly, Sevian beat So. Yeah, Sam Sevian had a really nice game against Wesley from round 1. I watched a little bit of Fabiano versus Sevian yesterday. That was a very tense match. That Fabiano won. The Sprite Kid, yes, yeah. He has that video with Greg Shahadi. Can I win material here? I don't exactly see how. My opponent's going to walk the king up here. Oh, knight b4, of course. I'm thinking about this position. I'm like, I feel like I should win material. I'm pretty sure knight b4 does it. And now I just back the rook off. And if here, then knight d3. Yeah, so my opponent's just going to let that drop. Still not going to be simple to win this. This is going to take some time. Let's play e5. I'm going to try to change up the center structure a little bit. Okay, I feel like this trade should benefit me for sure. Let's grab some space with the pawns. Bring the king up next. This is looking good. Penetrate with the rook. If bishop f2, probably just play a6. Make sure everything's defended. No loose pawns. Let's, okay, bishop d4 could be a threat. Let's sidestep here. Just avoid anything like this or this. Now go after some weak pawns. Also, this is loose. Check and pick up the bishop. All right, thank you for the game moves. Yeah, I think this is fairly even. You got into some difficulties down the file here. Oh, I had knight before even earlier. Yeah, of course. I had it for multiple moves, actually. 2 moves in a row that I was asleep at the wheel. I didn't see it. Knight b4 right here. And this works for a slightly different fork reason. Those knights, they're always so tricky, right? So obviously if takes, we take here. And if the rook retreats to the only seemingly safe square, now I get this fork. So that's why we have the back and forth question marks. I'm sure you guys always love this in your own games, right? When you get the red double question mark moves for multiple turns in a row. So I had knight b4 here. I had knight b4 here. Still works. And then finally, I noticed it here on the third attempt. Third time's a charm, right? Hey, Norwegian chess giant. It's right here. Here's my coffee. Burton's 3 pawns gambit. E4, E5, F5. I assume you mean F4. So it's in the king's gambit. Oh, okay. Yeah, king's gambit line where you allow your king side to get completely wiped out. Got it. Okay, I learned something new today. So what advice can I offer you, moves? Again, I think you were doing fine. Probably just playing c4. I thought you were going to go c4 here. Kick my knight back. That looks like the way to handle this position. Then I don't get a chance to like block the c4 square off myself. You do want to start moving these pawns off dark squares because you have a dark square bishop. It'd be better to get some presence on the light squares going for you. So if you do that, I think you're in decent shape. All right. Thank you for the game. We got time for 2, maybe 3 games. Destroya Jr., hello. You are a frequent opponent here on Lichess Plays. Good luck to you. Is the Benko Gambit a sound opening? I don't know. Let's find out. Why not? You're going to learn right now, Jay Hubie. Now, truthfully, the Benko Gambit was a fixture of my repertoire for quite a long time. It was my main defense against d4. I'd say from about 2,000 rating to maybe 23 or 2,400. But I stopped playing it because I really don't trust a lot of the lines for black. I think there are several variations that are problematic for black to play. Destroya Jr. is actually playing my recommendation in this opening from the white side. In correspondence chess, the accepted variation scores really well for white. The move 12a4, if you're interested in looking into that. Supposed to be quite good. I think bishop c6 in this exact position is probably the way to play it. We're talking about the Benko Gambit, Blakar, which is the line I played here. Black offers a pawn to try to open the queen side and get long-term pressure. I think the Benko Gambit is like a classic case of an opening that was a lot better in pre-computer times, like a lot more playable. Pre-serious engine chess, let's say. Modern engines, stuff like that doesn't really fly against them. Giving up a pawn for nebulous compensation sometimes. They grind that sort of stuff into the dirt. This is an interesting position, by the way, because I'm currently up a piece. However, how does white take it back because of the pin here? That's a problem for my opponent. It's a riddle for them to solve. I don't know that white can actually win the piece back. Yeah, now here I can play c4. I think is the easiest way to do this. Importantly, white could not castle here. If white was legally able to castle and defend the rook on a1, then white would probably win the piece back because I am pinned. If I move the bishop, I'd lose my queen. But remember, you can't castle into, out of, or through check. So castling kingside would be illegal. Polar Cow. Hello, Polar Cow, by the way. Good to see you. Polar Cow says, I stopped playing the Benko Gambit when I lost a game against someone like 800 points worse than me. It hurts too much to play anymore. Yeah, I can definitely relate to that, where you play, an opening that you know is a little bit dubious, and you think you're going to get all this activity, and a lower rated player takes you down in it. I mean, that always hurts, no matter what the opening is, but yeah, dubious openings can sometimes produce that result. Whereas if you play a dubious opening against a higher rated player and you lose, you might just chalk it up to, well, they were just better than me. You know, they outplayed me. Maybe the opening wasn't so much to blame, but if you have that result against a lower rated player, you're always going to be second guessing whether you should have played that opening in the first place against them. John, if you could talk to / learn from any chess player in history, who would it be? Thank you for the game, Destroya. I would say probably one of the old masters like Morphy, because I think it'd be really interesting to talk to a super strong, talented player who had no access to modern engines or chess learning whatsoever. You know, I'm sure I could learn a lot from guys like, you know, Kramnik, Kasparov, Magnus, of course, too. But I think it'd be really interesting to learn from someone pre-engine. McGilly agrees. Yeah, so this was all fine by you. It's just here I would play if we go to the opening repertoire, I would play A4 right away and let black come to you if they want to trade so that you can post the bishop on this diagonal. Yeah, and unfortunately queen b3 was a phantom defense. Ooh, we're following one game on Lichess, by the way, where that happened, but as I was mentioning, ooh, you actually do have a way to get this back? Wait a second. Rook a3. That's a cool move. Did anyone see rook a3 here? A very creative way to defend the rook. And thereby threaten to play queen takes b5 or maybe pawn takes b5. Is that the only move that keeps you in the game? Looks like it. Yeah. Makes perfect sense, especially once you see it. But given the trend of that last move, it was a blunder by you. I can see how, you know, you didn't find that. That would be very difficult for me to find on the spot, too. Thanks for the game. All right, let's play 2 more games. We'll play 1 more regular game, and then we'll play our blindfold game to round things out for today. What wood set would I recommend? You know, I really like the website Chess Bazaar. They're out of India. I've ordered a couple different sets from them, probably 3 or 4 different sets, actually. And I've really liked the quality and the value. Like, they're very reasonably priced sets. There's also, like, House of Staunton and a whole lot of other retailers. But Chess Bazaar is a pretty good one with a wide selection. And I've had very good customer service experience from them. But as far as, like, particular sets, I have one set. It's the Zurich Bobby Fischer set. Or is it Zurich or Zagreb? I think it might be Zagreb. I really like that one. It's the set where, like, the top of the bishops is, like, the opposite color from whatever side pieces we're talking about. So, like, the white bishops have a little, like, black knob on the top, and vice versa. Really ornate knights. I like that set quite a bit. Dubrovnik. Yeah, I wasn't even. Yeah, Dubrovnik. Thank you, Boxer. I get all the cities confused for different piece sets. That's right, Clowny Man. Yep. The Dubrovnik set is pretty cool. But everyone's taste will vary a little bit. I also think the old Reykjavik 1972, the Fischer Spassky set, is a really beautiful classic set. Let's go here. We've got 2 nicely outposted knights. These positions can be a bit of a grind because black has a weakness on the d5 square, long-term weakness, but it's going to be tough to exploit. But I like my position here. Black might decide to try to trade down a little bit, like take and then rook c8. Don't think I would greatly mind that, but we'll see how it goes. Ooh, g5, black lashing out. That seems incredibly dangerous, though. I'm going to take, and then I'm going to throw this move in, because if my queen gets to g6, watch out. And it looks like it will. Unless black sacks a piece here or does something radical. So if a city does not have an opening named after it, then they can have a chess set named after it instead. Yeah, that might be the case. I think it's usually named for some strong tournament that was held there, and maybe like that tournament used a certain piece style. That often seems to be the case. Okay, how can I finish this off? There's some tempting moves here. I've got a lot of tempting moves. I have take here. I have knight f5, which hits the queen. Black can't take because they would lose the queen and threatens checkmate. I have rook takes c5 ideas floating in the air. A lot of different stuff. I'm thinking maybe check and then knight f5 is the way to go, but there's queen f8 as a defense there. That's kind of annoying. I can flush the king out. Where is the killer blow? Does it exist? f4 is even a tempting move here. I'm pausing. Pause, champ. I'm thinking about this. I want to end this cleanly, but I'm not seeing like a clear... Well, probably knight f5 is the move. I think knight f5 is the move, and I think I see why now. Let's play it. So I'm thinking if black goes here to defend the mate threat, then I take with the queen on h6, and I'm guarding the e7 flight square. It's probably still not like a clean checkmate or anything, though. Yeah. That can happen in those IQP formations. Kalashnikov. Yeah, there's a lot of good moves there. I mean, taking the pawn on h6, definitely pretty good bet, but I kind of wanted to stop the king from escaping. Oh, was it? It was the same opening, huh? Oh, yeah. Oh, wait. Wait, which game is it? Kalashnikov's... Whoa, sorry, guys. I want to see this game, how similar it was. Oh, 1 month ago. Oh, yeah, okay. I got knight takes f7. This is the knight takes f7 idea I was talking about earlier in the stream here. Black was previously defending the bishop with their queen. And I do remember this now. Bishop d7 ran into take. And I got this. Yep, so super similar to that last game. Thanks for the game, Kalashnikov. Yeah, I think in that last game, g5 was definitely too much. Last chance to play, says Ariane. Yes, this will be the final game. Let's fire it up. Blindfold game. I got to change my preferences. So as always, you guys can follow along by following me if you want. But you can also just watch the stream and you'll see no pieces, but you'll see how hard it is from my perspective. All right, we ready? Oh, Aryan, you actually got the game. How crazy is that? Aryan said in the chat, okay, my last chance, and he actually got the game. What? Is this rigged? Okay, this is going to be really tough. Because Aryan is super fast, and he's 2,000. Oh, he's playing England Gambit again. The disrespect. All right. I really got to focus here. Oh, he's making it crazy, too. This is a main line. Is he going to set? He's going to play the Hamilton variation. He is. He's going for it. All right. All right. Stay calm, John. We played this before. I'm remembering. Aryan likes this line. We played this before. Okay, let's go bishop d3. Dang, I have my work cut out for me here. Okay, let's castle. Even though I'm up a queen for 2 minor pieces, this is not an easy line to break down. And it's obscure. It's kind of hard to keep track of where the pieces are. You guys know the problem. You all can relate, right? Let's jump up. I'm hitting this, hitting this. Aryan has beaten me before. Wait, I think that was a blindfold game too, wasn't it? I want to say that was as well. I got to get revenge for that loss. All right, full focus, John. Come on. Hitting those two pieces. He's trying to fianchetto his bishop. This looks pretty good for me, though, I gotta say. If you can break out early against this sort of thing. Okay, goes there. Interesting. I did see that move. I feel like I should move my light square bishop. What about bishop c4? I think this is good because even if he takes it, I take here. And it's another situation where he's going to have multiple pieces under fire. Because when I take d5, I'm hitting the rook also here. I think I'm winning material now. Yes, we're going to win material. But my queen is out in the open. This is always a little dicey. Lots of pieces under fire for him. He's got 3 pieces under attack. The only nice thing about that situation is I can't take all his pieces with my next move. Okay, so he goes knight a3. Should I take the rook? Probably. Could also just bank the piece. You know what? Let's bank the piece. Wait, should I take the rook? Let's take the rook. Take back. And now the bishop's still under fire here. I'm up a lot of material now. I got to keep this straight in my head. Isn't he hanging this? We got him. Stay calm. Stay calm, John. Let's go here. He just has a bishop and a rook left, right? His pawns are all here. Let's bring this up. I'm not going to take c7 yet. Wait a minute. That's undefended, right? Knight check now? That is undefended. I think we got him. Rook f6. Okay. Let's bring this out. Rook's on f8, right? c6. Let's take here. Okay, rook there. Let's take that now. I got my rook on b1 helping to defend. Let's take this. Knocking out everything. Now I'm on this. Let's go knight d5 next. Play rook down. And he resigns. Okay, I was forcing a rook trade at the end. There we go. Oh, thanks for the game, Aryan. Yeah, you couldn't cope with the knight e4 threats. I think you are losing at that point. Let's turn our pieces back on. Take a look at that quick. Yeah, too much material at the end. So I think knight e4, you're already in some trouble here. +4. So probably you got to play something a little more solid. Like d6 looks solid here, at least for the time being. Hello, Sir Blop-a-lot. Have I been practicing Blindfold? Oh, thank you. Yeah, no, I have not. Even though you think I'm getting better. Yeah, I've not been practicing it, but maybe the one game I play on Lichess plays each week helps. Hey, look at this. 11 average centi pawn loss. I will take it. I will take it for a Blindfold game. That can happen though sometimes when the opponent, does make blunders and you get up early. But I will take it. Yeah, this is a famous like queen sacrifice line for 2 pieces. The Amon Hamilton line. Amon likes to play this from time to time. But if White's vigilant, they should be able to refute this pretty much. Thanks for the game, Aryan. Thanks to Lichess, as always, for Lichess Plays, putting this on every week. How many games did we get in today? 19 games. Yep. It's always in that 19, 20-ish range. You know, the diciest game was my first game against Royal MP. And, yep, there we go. I was wondering, I had to revisit this at the end of the stream. Looks like that account got nuked. Okay, one thing I will say about this before I go, I know we're a few minutes over. Obviously, when I was playing this game, I had a feeling something was up here. Do you guys know one thing that gave this away in my mind? This is when I was analyzing after the fact. I started to get kind of suspicious of White's play right around here because of how strong a lot of the moves were. Okay, check this out. And I reviewed this briefly after the fact. My opponent played Queen E3 here, which at the time I remarked, I was like, I don't know why White's playing that move. That's a weird move. Assuming this opponent was cheating, which seems quite plausible because the account is closed, I think they confused E6 and E3 when they were translating what the engine was saying. So that's why they played that move instead of this. And then they corrected themselves on the next move. Here, Queen E6 is again the top move, even though I've literally just attacked their bishop. Then they played Queen E6. So I did want to revisit that just to explain my thinking here. Bit of a tell. But yeah, the moves that White was playing here, especially for this rating, were just all too accurate. Even if I was playing a 2200 plus, I'd be very suspicious. I was kept under constant pressure here. But then when it got low, things fell apart for White, as it often does in games where you're playing with someone using assistance. Yeah. So White doesn't have time to relay the moves from the engine at this point. All right. Maybe that will make it into the Lichess Clips channel. Lichess has been posting clips from these Lichess Play streams on their YouTube channel, so go check that out. Maybe No Joke Chess can link it. So I just kind of a funny little incident. Do not cheat viewers out there. Don't do that. Play fair. There's the link to the YouTube channel, by the way, if you want to check it out. Thanks to No Joke for making that happen. All right, take care, everyone. Thanks for tuning in today. We're going to raid someone here, and I will see you guys next week for Lichess Plays. It was a pleasure, as always. Looks like we're raiding Eric Rosen. Let's give Eric our best.